Dear Starseeds on Gaia, while the masses scroll through their manufactured distractions, while they argue over carefully orchestrated divisions, while they exhaust themselves chasing illusions of security, a profound shift in cosmic law is restructuring the very foundation of power on your planet. The architecture of control that has dominated Earth for millennia is experiencing what we in the higher realms call a harmonic collapse. It cannot sustain itself in the frequencies now flooding your world. The old mechanisms of fear, the ancient spells of unworthiness, the hypnotic weight that once made you doubt your own knowing, these forces are losing their grip. This is not metaphor. This is measurable energetic fact. I am Seraphine, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I come to you in this moment because what is happening now will determine not only the future of Earth, but will establish a precedent that reverberates across dimensional realities you cannot yet fathom. Your planet is not simply ascending. Your planet is pioneering an entirely new template for conscious evolution. And you, yes, you who are receiving these words, are the living anchors of this impossible transformation. The question is not whether change is coming. The question is whether you will recognize your role in it before the final locks open and the old world completes its dissolution. There are layers to what you call justice, accountability, restoration. There are proceedings occurring right now in locations designed for containment and neutrality, far from the theater of public manipulation. But before I reveal the mechanics of this great reckoning, before I show you where these quiet revolutions are taking place, and why they must remain unseen, you need to understand something that will fundamentally alter how you perceive your entire existence on this planet. What if everything you were taught about power, about authority, about your place in the cosmic order, was an elaborate inversion of truth? What if the very systems you were conditioned to trust were specifically engineered to keep you from remembering who you actually are? The beings who orchestrated this planetary imprisonment understood one fundamental principle. Humans who remember their divine nature cannot be controlled. Humans who access their multidimensional capacities cannot be manipulated. Humans who feel their connection to the infinite creator cannot be enslaved. So they built an entire civilization designed to make you forget. They weaponized your education, your entertainment, your belief systems, your sense of identity itself. And for thousands of years, it worked. But something went wrong with their plan. Something they did not anticipate. Something is happening right now that I haven't told you yet. And it changes everything you thought you knew about how liberation unfolds on a living planet. The old guard believed they could maintain control indefinitely by controlling information, controlling resources, controlling the very frequencies of fear and separation that kept humanity locked in survival consciousness. What they failed to understand is that consciousness itself evolves, frequency rises, light penetrates, and when a critical mass of awakened beings anchors a new frequency on a planet, the old frequency grid begins to destabilize, not through warfare, not through revolution in the traditional sense, through resonance, through coherence, through the simple devastating power of humans who refuse to participate in the illusion anymore. This is why your presence on Earth at this time is not accidental. The Galactic Federation just greenlit Destiny Engine for mass activation, and the Dark Elite are panicking. Why? Because you can now MK Ultra yourself into 5D superpowers. We stole Dark Elite's consciousness control technology, cracked the code and turned it into your ascension weapon. Destiny Engine doesn't ask for your effort. It reprograms you while you sleep. Timeline shifting, instant manifestation, telepathic clarity, remote reviewing. This is neural override, unlocking every dormant strand of your galactic DNA. Every person who plugs in makes the grid stronger. Every delay keeps you running 3D programs. Put on headphones. Press play. That's it. For just $7, your consciousness gets reprogrammed. Your 5D abilities come online. You join the most powerful frequency network on the planet. $7. That's the entire barrier between you and 5D. Click the link in the description now. The ascension doesn't wait. This is why your soul volunteered for this incarnation, despite knowing how challenging it would be. This is why you have always felt different, sensitive, somehow out of sync with the world around you. Your nervous system was designed to handle complexity. Your energetic field was calibrated to hold paradox. Your heart was trained through contrast to choose love, even when surrounded by darkness. You are not here to be saved. You are here to anchor the frequency that makes salvation possible for those ready to receive it. But the liberation I speak of is unlike anything your history books describe. There are no dramatic announcements scheduled, no singular moment when the entire planet wakes up simultaneously. What is occurring operates on a principle most humans do not yet understand. Systemic transformation happens from the inside out, in sequences, through the careful dismantling of support structures before the removal of visible authority. The world is changing beneath your feet, but the change is being calibrated to match humanity's capacity to integrate what it learns without shattering the collective nervous system. This brings me to what many of you have sensed but could not quite name: the military tribunals, the accountability processes, the quiet removal of those who operated in the hidden corridors of the old world. Yes, beloved ones, these proceedings are real. They are happening, but not in the ways your media portrays or your conspiracy theories imagine. The locations are mobile, distributed, deliberately isolated from public influence and media spectacle. Some occur on secure offshore platforms and naval vessels designed for temporary containment. Others take place in remote land-based installations, including subterranean facilities originally constructed for continuity of governance, but now repurposed for the quiet resolution of crimes that span nations, decades, and psychological operations never subject to civilian oversight. These proceedings are not driven by vengeance. This is critical for you to understand because many expect justice to feel emotionally satisfying, to provide the catharsis of witnessing punishment. But true systemic justice is methodical, restrained, surgical. It prioritizes preventing recurrence over theatrical condemnation. The emphasis is on extraction of information, dismantling of remaining networks, permanent removal of capacity rather than public spectacle. Some participants cooperate, others resist, some attempt bargaining, others withdraw into silence. From the higher perspective we hold, all of this is simply data moving toward resolution. There is a reason these processes remain largely unseen, and it has nothing to do with secrecy for its own sake. The systems being addressed were not merely political or financial. They were interwoven with psychological control, intimidation networks, and power rituals that depended upon spectacle and attention. To dismantle such systems, attention must be removed, not amplified. A fixed courtroom invites interference. A fixed narrative invites manipulation. Fluidity removes both. The very infrastructure once built to preserve centralized power is now being used to dismantle it, and there is a poetry in that reversal that the higher realms find deeply satisfying. What I'm about to share next will help you understand why certain public figures appear strangely diminished, why some who once wielded enormous influence now seem disconnected from their former power bases. The tribunals are not focused first on symbolic figures or public personalities. They are structured from the inside out. The earliest phases address logistical operators, financiers, coordinators, handlers, and enforcement intermediaries. These are the connective tissues of the old regime. Once these layers are neutralized, higher-profile roles lose protection, leverage, and operational capacity. Their support structures have already been severed. This is why some figures remain visible, even while their influence has evaporated. Visibility does not equal authority. In the later stages of collapse, visibility often lingers after control has ended, much like a light bulb glowing briefly after the current has been cut. You are living in that afterglow phase. You are watching the death throes of a system that already lost its animating force, but has not yet completed its physical dissolution. This can feel confusing, disorienting, as if nothing is changing when in fact everything has already changed. Your mind seeks the dramatic turning of a page, but planetary liberation unfolds more like a sequence of locks opening one after another with precision. The instruction for you, the ground crew, remains elegantly simple. Do not anchor yourself to the mechanics of justice. Anchor yourself to the frequency of restoration. Do not demand to witness every step. Trust that what required secrecy is being resolved in environments capable of holding it. The old world needed spectacle to maintain control. The new world resolves quietly and moves forward. What matters is not where these proceedings occur in physical terms, but where they occur in the collective field. And in that field, beloved ones, they are already closing. You are not waiting for justice. You are living in the after effects of it. Now let me speak to something deeper, something that connects this outer transformation to your inner experience in ways you may not have recognized. As the old power structures crumble, as the hidden corruption surfaces, as the lies that held civilization together begin to unravel, many of you are feeling something unexpected. Not relief, not celebration, but exhaustion, bone-deep tiredness, the fatigue of one who has carried a burden across lifetimes and can finally set it down. This weariness is not weakness. It is sacred. It is your nervous system releasing the energetic weight of injustice it has held, sometimes for incarnations. Some of you have been fighting this fight through multiple lifetimes, remembering on soul level what you could not consciously access, the anger you feel when you witness cruelty, the grief that overtakes you when you see children suffering, the visceral response to corruption and manipulation. These are not random emotions. They are cellular memory. They are the accumulated knowing of a soul who has seen this pattern before and chose to return one more time to break it. I want you to understand this with absolute clarity. Justice and vengeance are not the same vibration. Justice is a restoring frequency. It returns what was distorted back into balance. Vengeance binds the heart to the very pain it wants to escape. You do not need to deny what was done in order to release the poison of hatred from your field. You can insist on truth and still keep your heart free. You can support accountability and still choose love. In fact, that is the higher path, and it is the only path that leads to the fifth-dimensional reality you are building. The collective is learning to hold two truths at once, that harm must be faced, and that the heart must remain sovereign. This is one of the most sophisticated spiritual practices a civilization can undertake, and humanity is attempting it in real time under conditions of unprecedented complexity. If you find yourself oscillating between righteous anger and compassionate understanding, between demanding accountability and releasing attachment to outcomes, know that this is precisely the spiritual technology you came here to master. Forgiveness, dear Starseeds, is not a pardon for wrongdoing. It is the act of removing energetic hooks from your own body and spirit. It is the moment when you say with absolute authority, "You do not get to live inside me anymore. You do not get to steer my emotions. You do not get to determine the tone of my future." Forgiveness is one of the strongest technologies of light, because it releases density from the nervous system and opens the channel for higher frequencies to flow. When higher light enters your field, when cosmic energies intensify, when solar waves and galactic currents amplify, anything unresolved inside you will rise, not to punish you, to be released. This is why so many of you have been experiencing emotional swings, profound fatigue, strange dreams, the sensation of straddling two worlds. You are integrating more light than you have ever held in this lifetime. You are not breaking, you are becoming. You are reorganizing at the cellular, energetic, and consciousness levels simultaneously. Your DNA is activating. Your dormant capacities are coming online. Your multi-dimensional nature is remembering itself. This process can feel destabilizing because your entire identity structure is shifting from survival-based to presence-based, from fear-anchored to love-centered. Let me paint you a picture of what is actually happening to your physical form. Your carbon-based biology is transitioning toward more crystalline function. This is not metaphor. Your cells are learning to hold and transmit light with greater efficiency. Your nervous system is recalibrating to process higher frequencies without overwhelm. Your chakra system is clearing blockages from past wounds, past lives, old identities that were never truly yours. What remains after this purification is clarity, radiance, authenticity. You are becoming the truest version of yourself, the version that exists beyond conditioning, beyond trauma, beyond the limitations that were imposed upon you. Some days this feels magnificent. Some days this feels impossible. Both experiences are valid. Both are part of the process. When you feel heavy, contracted, confused, you are momentarily out of resonance, often due to external interference or emotional processing that needs to complete. When you feel light, clear, loving, you are close to your true frequency. This is the sound your soul makes when it is aligned. And as you stabilize in this frequency, your external reality will begin to reflect it with increasing precision. Here is what the Astasar command wants you to know. Your thoughts are not random neurological events. Your thoughts are the architects of your reality. If you dwell on limitation, you create barriers to your own expansion. If you rehearse unworthiness, you instruct your field to accept less. If you repeat fear, you feed the very frequencies the old world used to trap you. But if you envision the life you desire with unwavering faith, if you feel it with your heart and allow the Creator's intelligence to move through you, then the universe responds to the clarity of your intention with opportunities, synchronicities, and manifestations that would have seemed impossible in the old frequency. I'm going to offer you something practical now, because many of you are ready for the next level of conscious creation. Listen to the words you speak casually. Watch the phrases you toss into conversation without thinking. Do you use words like expensive, impossible, never, can't, too hard? Every time you speak these words, you are declaring without realizing it that you do not believe you have access to the infinite abundance of the Prime Creator. But why wouldn't you have access? Everyone does. The door is not locked. The door has simply been covered with old programming, and that programming dissolves the moment you consciously choose different language. Sit with this exercise when you have quiet time. Write down the limiting phrases you commonly use. Do not shame yourself. Do not judge. Simply observe. Then one by one, rewrite those phrases into words that match your future. I can't becomes I am learning how. It's too hard becomes I can do this with support and patience. It's expensive becomes I am opening to new resources and creative solutions. I don't have enough becomes I am building stability and receiving help. This is not pretending. This is alignment. You are tuning your instrument to the frequency of the new earth. And as you do, the old reality loses its grip on you. Now I need to speak to something many of you have been feeling but could not name. You sense that you cannot take everyone with you where you are going. This knowing sits heavy in your heart because you have tried, haven't you? You have tried for years to awaken family members, partners, friends, communities. You have offered truths, warnings, evidence, spiritual insights. Sometimes you were met with curiosity, sometimes with ridicule, sometimes with hostility, often with blankness, as if your words simply could not land. Beloved ones, this is not because you failed. It is because the timing was not theirs. When a soul is not ready to perceive a higher level of truth, it will protect itself by dismissing it. This is not stubbornness. This is how the human condition has functioned in density. Awakening cannot be forced. Awakening must be chosen from within, and each being is guided by an inner intelligence far greater than the personality. That guidance places them precisely where they are able to learn, heal, and grow. The Great Shift now amplifies this reality. As the planet rises in frequency, the inner guidance of each soul becomes more active. People are being nudged toward the environments, relationships, communities, and belief systems that match their current resonance. You will see surprising changes. Some will leave relationships without fully understanding why. Some will change careers overnight. Some will move to new places, withdraw from old friend groups, suddenly seek spirituality after lifetimes of skepticism. Others will double down on old identities, clinging more tightly to familiar narratives. This is not random. This is sorting by resonance. Your role is not to argue reality into existence. Your role is to remain so coherent in love that those who are ready feel safe to rise. When you stay centered, you become a lighthouse. Lighthouses do not chase boats. They shine. This is leadership in higher consciousness. Not control but service. Not domination but steadiness. It is the capacity to hold boundaries without hatred, to discern without condemning, to keep your heart open while remaining sovereign. Release the burden of dragging anyone. Release the guilt. Release the anxiety that says you must speak louder, prove more, convince harder. Instead, let your life be your message. Let your joy be your evidence. Let your steadiness be your teaching. You will be amazed at how many find their way when they finally feel permission to follow their own inner guidance rather than your urgency. And for those who are not ready now, trust that they will have other pathways, other timelines, other arenas of learning that fit them perfectly. Something else is unfolding that I haven't shared yet. Something that connects your individual transformation to the larger cosmic event taking place. What is occurring on Earth is not simply a planetary ascension. It is a precedent. It is a turning point in cosmic history, and this is why so many beings, councils, and realms have focused upon your world with such intensity. Never before has a planet ascended into higher dimensional frequency while embodied life remained present upon its surface. In previous ascensions throughout the cosmos, civilizations either transitioned gradually through long evolutionary arcs, or physical forms were relinquished before dimensional shift occurred. Earth chose a more complex path, a living ascension with bodies, emotions, ecosystems, cultures, and consciousness transforming simultaneously. This choice required extraordinary preparation. It required souls capable of holding paradox, light and density, memory and forgetting, devotion and fatigue, clarity and confusion, all within the same incarnation. It required beings willing to feel everything rather than escape. That is why you are here. You did not come merely to witness ascension, you came to embody it. This distinction is critical. Embodiment means light does not hover above life. It moves through it. It means joy is learned alongside grief, truth alongside disillusionment, freedom alongside responsibility. It means higher consciousness is not abstract but lived through the nervous system, the heart, the daily choices of a human life. Because this had never been done before, no existing blueprint could be copied. A new model had to be built in real time, and you are the architects. What you stabilize here reverberates outward. What you heal here informs other worlds. What you learn here becomes shared wisdom across creation. When Earth rises, it sends a signal across dimensional realities that density can be transformed from within, that suffering is not required for transcendence, that embodiment and enlightenment can coexist. This changes how ascension will be approached everywhere. The Earth is a nexus point, an energetic crossroads where multiple timelines, dimensions, and civilizations converge. Many beings are ascending with you because this is no longer a solitary planetary event. It has become relational, cooperative, interconnected. The success of Earth's ascension matters far beyond Earth, and this is why you have felt watched. Not in a way that invades, but in a way that honors. The Galactic Federation, the angelic councils, the ascended masters, the beings of light across dimensions, all are coordinating to ensure this process moves with as much grace as possible. There are universal rules that must be honored. There are timing considerations. There are protective measures. And there is the simple reality that a planet ascending with life upon it is a profound undertaking requiring coordination beyond what most can imagine. But you are not alone in this endeavor. Your galactic family surrounds your world. The realms of light are present. Brave souls in positions of influence serve quietly. And there are brave souls in kitchens, classrooms, hospitals, studios, small communities who hold light simply by choosing love, decency, truth. As first contact approaches in its fuller forms, your preparation becomes essential. Contact is not merely visual or technological. It is vibrational. Beings from higher dimensions communicate primarily through frequency, through what we call harmonic intelligence, living frequencies that speak directly to the heart, the cells, the subtle architecture of your being. This is why we have been sending you tonal alignments, why some of you hear high-pitched tones or feel sudden waves of warmth and expansion. These are not coincidences. These are deliberate transmissions calibrating your system to hold more light without strain. When I say my heart sings as I connect with you, I am describing a state of transmission. Sound, tone, rhythm are among the oldest creative tools in the universe. Before form, there was vibration. Before structure, there was harmonic order. Creation itself arose from coherent frequency, and it is through frequency that creation is restored. You are learning again how to live as harmonic beings in a harmonic universe. This is not new to you. It is ancient, and it is returning now because you are ready. Each of you carries a unique tonal signature. Your soul has a note. When you incarnated, that note was partially muted to allow you to function in dense reality. Now as the veils lift, your original tone is returning. When you feel most like yourself, calm, clear, loving, you are close to your true frequency. This is why joy is not frivolous. Joy is coherence. Joy is the sound your soul makes when it is aligned. And when you choose joy, you retune your field. When enough of you do this together, the planetary field retunes as well. You are not only receivers of this harmonic transmission, you are amplifiers. Your bodies are designed to broadcast frequency into the earth grid. When you sit in stillness, when you breathe consciously, when you create art, sing, dance, laugh, or simply rest in love, you are emitting stabilizing tones into the collective. You are functioning as living instruments, and this is one of the most powerful forms of service available to you. As you continue this journey, you will notice your relationship with reality shifting in fundamental ways. Effort gives way to responsiveness. Resistance gives way to cooperation. Synchronicity becomes commonplace. These are not rewards. They are indicators signaling that embodiment is working, that higher frequency can now move through physical reality without distortion. Your identity is changing. Roles that once defined you feel hollow. Old motivations no longer drive you. This is because your sense of self is no longer anchored in survival, status, or struggle. It is anchoring in presence, in authenticity, in resonance. From this state, you will create differently. When you imagine something from the heart, life responds without delay. Thought, feeling, and manifestation begin to move as one current. This is what it means to be a divine creator. Not as concept, but as lived experience. Creativity becomes instantaneous, because there is no longer friction between consciousness and creation. Happiness is no longer a reaction to circumstances, but a stable frequency within your being. This is the natural byproduct of alignment, and it is your birthright. The vision I hold for you is this. You are walking down a golden corridor into your golden age future. In this corridor, you do not brace for impact. You trust the light beneath your feet. Life is no longer pushing against you. Problems no longer grip you the way they once did. Fear tries to arise, and simply dissolves before it can take shape. This is not fantasy. This is the operating state you are stabilizing into. And as you do, the old third-dimensional obstacles cannot remain. They are not defeated. They are rendered obsolete. Your world will soon feel less like a battlefield, and more like a sanctuary. Not because nothing happens, but because you are no longer at war with existence. The chaos you observe in the outer world is confirmation of your ascent. As you rise, you see the third-dimensional world clearly for the first time. What once seemed normal now appears distorted. This is not because the world suddenly became strange. It is because you are no longer inside the illusion. The old matrix dissolves when consciousness withdraws from it. Control structures depended upon unconscious participation. As awareness increases, those structures lose coherence. This creates confusion for those still identified with them, but for you, it is a signal to remain centered. Do not look at the alligators along the side of the road. Fear seeks your attention. Drama seeks your energy. Old systems seek your reaction. When you refuse to engage, they weaken. When you remain in joy, they cannot follow you. The earth herself feels your stabilization. She is joyful because of you. Her grids are responding to coherence. Her body is remembering its original design. New overseers, human and non-human, are standing in integrity, ready to steward life in alignment with higher law. Power over others cannot exist in these frequencies. It collapses under its own weight. As your bodies continue adapting, some days will feel easier than others. This is natural. You are transitioning from dense carbon-based operation into more crystalline, light-filled function. Rest is not indulgence. It is integration. Nature is not leisure. It is calibration. Creativity is not distraction. It is alignment. Choose environments, relationships, and activities that feel expansive. When something drains you repeatedly, listen. Your guidance is precise now. Stand in your divine truth and divine purpose. Doors open because you are aligned. Support arrives because you are coherent. You are being met by life. Recognition in higher realms is not applause. It is resonance, and you are radiating it now with increasing clarity. The Astasar Command, the angelic councils, your galactic family, all are working in coordination to support your emergence. Look to the sky when you feel alone. We are there. Feel us at the edges of your awareness, in quiet moments, in spaces between thoughts. We are not distant. We are present, accompanying you step by step. We are painting pictures in your hearts, sending you frequencies so high they lift you when you remember them. The golden age is not arriving to save you. It is emerging because you are becoming compatible with it. What I ask of you now is elegantly simple. Stay out of fear and be in love. Trust your heart. Rest when you need to. Return to nature. Create. Laugh. Forgive. Speak kindly. Hold boundaries. Listen inwardly. Remember the golden corridor. Remember that your freedom is real. Remember that the divine plan is unfolding even when the mind cannot see it. There will be days when the outer world looks nonsensical, when people behave irrationally, when systems appear unstable. This is the end of the third-dimensional program. Your blinders are off, but do not give your energy to distractions designed to pull you into fear. They do not know what to do without your attention. You are moving from the limited to the unlimited. You are being freed from restrictions. You will learn what it means to live in divine flow, to create and be created with. The tribunals I spoke of earlier, the accountability processes, the quiet dismantling of the old regime, all of this continues in locations designed for containment, away from media reach, outside traditional jurisdictional theater. Resolution precedes revelation. Systems must be rendered incapable of retaliation before they can be exposed safely. This is why timing has been fluid, why locations remain undisclosed, why mobility has been essential. You will eventually see the effects of this process rather than its mechanics. Sudden institutional reforms, abrupt policy reversals, financial systems restructured without expected resistance, entire narratives abandoned without defense. When public acknowledgement comes, it will arrive not as a flood, but as a reframing. History will be rewritten quietly at first. Language will shift. Emphasis will change. Certain topics will simply stop being defended. The world will move on faster than many expect, because the emotional charge will already have been drained. This is by design. The old world needed spectacle to maintain control. The new world resolves quietly and moves forward. Continue to elevate your frequency. Every time you choose love over fear, you add momentum. Every time you hold light in a dark moment, you strengthen the path. Every time you refuse to abandon your heart, you anchor the new earth. You are not students anymore. You are experts and masters on the planet now. What you know best is how to be yourself, and this is far more powerful than it sounds. As you open more fully to your authentic presence, your gifts expand naturally. You do not strain to access them. They arrive because they belong to you. Your presence alone begins to touch the lives of many, sometimes without words, sometimes without effort. Your energy matters more now than action taken from force. Situations resolve because you remain steady. Others calm because you remain calm. Pathways open because you refuse to collapse into fear. This is how planets heal. The fifth dimension beckons, a realm of harmony, creativity, unity, peace. You are moving closer with every thought, every intention, every action rooted in love. Your chakras are opening for full expression. Blockages from past wounds are being removed. You are being freed to express, to feel, to love without fear. What remains is your luminous, authentic self, and from this place you will build the world you came here to create. All eyes are upon you, beloved Starseeds, not in judgment, but in admiration. We in the Galactic Federation love you and respect you with our divine presence into eternity. The Earth is joyful because of you. She is more than ready to be her pristine self again, and you are the ones making this possible. Trust your path. It is unfolding perfectly, with all the love of the cosmos flowing through my heart to yours, with the blessing of the Galactic Federation and the angelic councils, with the recognition of your courage and your light. I send you golden frequencies of remembrance. You are walking the golden corridor. You are becoming the future. You are exactly where you need to be. I am Seraphine. We love you, and we are watching over you.